I'm standing over here close to my WeCreate, and I got these nice leather journals from Amazon. I did test the settings. I'm going to show you how I made this just with my name. I played around with it. I'm also going to show you how to add a file and the best settings in my opinion for leather engraving with the WeCreate, and I'm going to take you step by step. Let's get started. Hello everyone, and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. I am over here by my WeCreate, so that means I am going to be making a tutorial for how to use the WeCreate. So with this, it's just a leather journal, and what I did is I just played around with the settings. But if you really look at my name, you'll see that it has a lot of special characters and a little razzle dazzle here. I'm going to show you how to add glyphs to your text and kind of jazz it up in the WeCreate software. And I'm also going to show you the settings that I think will look the best when engraving this color of leather. At the end of this video, if you find it helpful, please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, this is normally the time where I would talk about materials. I'm only using two materials. I'm using my WeCreate laser engraving and cutting machine. This is the 20 watt. I know they also have a 40 watt machine that's out now. This one is perfect for me. I don't need a 40 watt. I'm also using these leather journals. They come in a 6-pack. This is the PYD Life brand. They do come in other colors. I did order 2 additional colors. They haven't come in yet. This one is called yellow brown, and this is the one I'm going to be using this color for the full tutorial. Everything else I'll do in the software. The font and files that I'm using will be downloaded from the Creative Fabrica website. Before we go into the WeCreate software, I'm going to show you how to use the character map UWP. Now, in order to use the character map, you will have to download it. I'm using one that I downloaded. It is free. I'm using a Windows-based operating system. If you don't have a Windows-based operating system, if you're using a Mac, I think this same program is called Font Book, but I'm not very familiar with the Mac, so I'm just going to show you what I do from my computer. I'm using a desktop. I know it's also available on a laptop. Now, without further ado, let's head over to the computer and we'll start with the text, and we'll start with the character map UWP. Right now, this is what my desktop looks like. And in order to find the character map UWP, I'll have to come down here to the bottom screen and I'll come and find the Microsoft Store. Now, I already have the character map UWP installed on my computer, but I want you to see what it looks like. So I'll come up here to the search. You can see I already have searched it, but I'm going to type in character map UWP. And what will come up is everything that is considered as a character map that you can use on your computer. I cannot speak for any of these other ones. This is the one that I use right here. It's just called Character Map UWP, and the creator is Eddie Wang. I hope I said that right, W-A-N-G. And you can read more about it. It is free. I love it because it really does help me to see all of the glyphs that are available in the fonts that I'm using. So right here, I'll just click open, but if you don't have it already installed, you will be clicking install. Okay, so I'm going to click open. And it's going to load all of the fonts that I have downloaded on my computer. So if you look here, it'll tell me that I have 630 font families. So I can look at every single font and I can look at all of the different glyphs that come. Now, I didn't even realize how beautiful this one is, but all of the different fonts and the glyphs that come along with them. The glyphs are the special characters that kind of, make your text more I would say give it a little bit of razzle dazzle. Okay. And not every text has special glyphs, but a lot of the a lot of the fonts that I use have them. So this one is called Mother Lover and it has hearts in the middle. So those are considered as glyphs. The font that I'm using for this tutorial, the one that you saw on the back of my journal, is one that's called, let's go back. Oh, this one is called Methalia. But that one is very pretty. Oh my goodness. There's another one that's called Natalia, Nathalia. You can get this font from dafont.com for free. Or if you have a Creative Fabrica membership, you can also download it from Creative Fabrica. Okay. And it shows you like all of the different options for the letters. So we'll be using the character map UWP with this font, Natalia. Now let's head over to the WeCreat Make It software. I am in the WeCreat Make It software, and what I'll do is click on New Project, and I will show you how I made my name with the Natalia font. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go over here to text. I'm just going to click on the T and click on the canvas area. Now, when you do that, it'll show the word hello no matter how many times you do it, right? What I have found with that Natalia font is that the D is a little bit off center from the rest of the letters, but I'm going to show you what I did to resolve that. So I'm going to just type the D first, and then I'll click out. So here's the D. And I'm going to come up here to font and I'll click this down arrow. WeCreat has 10 different fonts for you to use within the software. However, I'm using a system font because remember, those are the fonts that I have downloaded on my computer that really don't have anything to do with the WeCreat software. So I'm going to do a search for that font, Natalia. And I'll click enter, and here it is right here. And this is what the D looks like. Now I can look at this D and see that it's right now set to align engrave. I like to have my fonts filled in or my text filled in. So I can click on fill engrave just like that. And if I don't want to use this D within the Natalia font, I can look and see what other options I have for the letter D. So I can go into, I'm looking down here at the bottom of my screen. I can go back to the character map. I'm in the Natalia font. Remember, when you're working with a font, stay with that font. If I try to change it and use a different font, it won't work the same. Okay, so I can look. So here's a really fancy D. Let's see what that one will look like. So I've clicked on it. What I would do right here is click copy. And then I would go back to the WeCreat software right here. And I would double click here. And I would click on Control V. Control V as in Victor. Control V. And now it changed to that D. Now that D is a little bit too fancy for my taste, but that's how to use the character map. So let's go back in that character map and see if we can find one that's a little less fancy, because that one is just doing a bit too much. All right, so here was the original D, and I actually just like the original D. Okay, so I could click right here. I could click copy. And I can go back to WeCreat. I can maybe just click on it right here and I maybe right click. Oh, no, okay. I would have to click on it and, basically highlight it and do Control V as in Victor to get that regular D back. Okay, and I like that. I think that looks so beautiful. Now for the rest of my name, I'm going to type it separately from this D because the alignment at the bottom was just a little bit weird to me. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to click on T again, and I'll, get that hello, and I'll type the rest of my name, Delonda, like that. And I'll click back over here. I'm going to my system fonts, and I will be searching for that font again. I can go to recently used, which is this one, the Natalia. Remember, it was on Fill Engrave. And now I want to kind of fancy it up. So I'm going to move this closer and see how the alignment is just a little bit off. So I would click on the D and use the arrow key on my keyboard and kind of just move it down just a little bit because I think that is better. Okay, let's see if it's lined up. Now, according to WeCreat, it is lined up, and maybe it is. Maybe I'll just move it a little bit closer, a little bit closer. I think that looks really nice. Okay, so I will select well, I'm not going to put it all together just yet. Now I want to change up the letters. So this D that's right here, I'm going to just click in front of the D, this D right here, and I'm going to click the delete option. I'll go back to the character map and look for other options for lowercase d. Okay, so let's see what they have. Okay, so they have this D. I think this one is really pretty. They have, let's click it so you can see it big right here. That one is very, very pretty. This one is also nice. This one is gorgeous. I love it. Not a fan of this one so much. This one is pretty and simple. This one, I like this. Let's see how this one will look with my name. So I can click copy. I can go back to the software and click Control V to add that new D. Now that is nice, but I don't love it. So I will click undo and I can go back into that software, go back to the character map UWP, and let me see if I like, let's see if I like this one. Let me click copy and go back to WeCreat and delete the one that's there and Control V. That's kind of pretty. See how my D is not really good yet, but it's okay. I'll fix it. I'll make sure it's fixed and it's all aligned. Okay, so I'm going to delete that D and go back into the character map. And I'm just going to stick with this D right here. I think is subtle and I think it's beautiful. And if I wanted to just see if there were any other options, I can do that. Okay, so I'm going to stick with this one. I'll click copy, go back to WeCreat and Control V as in Victor. I love this so far. Now let's look at that A. Let's see if I can change that A out a little bit for something with a little more, I would say, razzle dazzle. I love using that razzle dazzle. All right, so I see this A right here. I like that one. It's simple enough. There's just a regular A. It's too regular. It's too regular. So this shows you all the different variations. I am going to go with this one. I'll click copy and I'll go back to WeCreat and I will double click in there. I'll get rid of the A that's there and do Control V and there I go. I think that looks beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is just move this D down so that it's aligned, and if I'm completely sure about how it looks and if I like it, I would select the whole thing and I would click on, let's see what align does. Let's do align to the bottom. That looks great. And what I would also do with this, let's see, merge graphic shape. So it's all one thing. I think this looks great. All right, there I go. So that's how my name will look on the back of the journal. Now, in addition to doing those things, what I would also do is change my settings. So right here on material, I'm not using wood. So I would scroll down and for leather, because I don't see the option for yellow, brown, I use the one that was leather, vegetable, tanned brown, 2 millimeters. I'm going to click confirm. And what I'm going to do is click on my name and look at the options. Now remember, with the WeCreat software, the speed actually determines how dark the engraving will go. So if the higher the speed is, the The higher the speed, the lighter the engraving will be, and the lower the speed, the the darker the engraving will be. So let me click right here, and I can see right now that the power is on 30, the speed is on 250. So that means it's going to be very, very, very bright. And then the line density, I don't really ever change that. Let's look at the options. So right here is where I can decide how dark I want my engraving to be. And honestly, I think that I really, really like the engraving when it's right at this darkness right here of 24. So the power is on 24, and the speed, let's see what it's going to show us. The speed is on 50. Okay, so that is the setting. The power is on 24, the speed is on 50, so that makes it very dark. If I didn't want it that dark, if I want a little bit lighter, I might go to a power of 18 and a speed of 50, right? So this will be a matter of personal preference, and you'll be able to decide that. Okay, so I think this looks really nice. And let's click on autofocus so we can see, you know, I'm sorry, my dog is barking. Okay, so this is the front cover actually, and I'm definitely not putting my name on the front cover. Okay, so if I wanted to just do a test and see what this would look like, I could even rotate this and, you know, turn it this way just to get a good view of how this will look, like that. And kind of move it up. And I can do a fill engrave and see what it's going to look like. Let's click start, and it tells me that this is going to take 7 minutes and 39 seconds. Let's do it and see how this will turn out. So I'm going to go and press the start button, and I'll show you what this looks like. So let's take it out and take a look at it. This is what it looks like with the power of 18, the speed of 50. And I like it. It's quite dark. It's not as dark as the one at the top, but this will always be a matter of personal preference. We are back into the software, and I've turned the journal over to the front cover. I'm going to show you how I would add a file from Creative Fabrica. So I'm going to click on import, and this is a file that I downloaded from the Creative Fabrica website. I'm going to click on my Creative Fabrica files document, and the file that I'm using is called Peaceful Heart, Grateful Mind. And it is the first part of the file. It's the Microsoft Edge HTML document. And what I'll need to do is bring it down so that it's all together. And let's bring it over. I'll make it smaller. Uh-oh. And I do want to do a fill engrave, and let's see, do I want to make this taller? So if I want to make the file taller but not necessarily wider, what I would have to do right here is click on this unlock to unlock the proportions. Now, before I do that, I do want to go ahead and just group all of this together. So it's just one file. I think that looks better. This is so beautiful, and I'm excited about it. Now I'm going to click on unlock and kind of just see if I want it to be a little bit taller. I think this is gorgeous. All right, so now what I'll do is change my settings right here. I'm still using the 2mm leather vegetable, I think it was vegetable tan or something like that. And the settings that I want to use is I want to have my power on, let me show you. I want to have the power on 11, and I want to have a speed of 50, and I'm going to keep the line density at 100. I think that is the best setting. I actually love this setting. It's not too dark, but I also like this one, having a power of 18, a speed of 50, and a density of 100. So between these two, I really think they both look really nice on this leather. Okay, so this will be a matter of personal preference. All right, so let's go with this one. Let's go with the 18, 50, and 100. I'll click out, and it is on Fill Engrave. Power of 18, speed of 50, line density of 100. I'm going to have to click on autofocus. I am going to click start, and it'll tell me how much time. It's going to take 11 minutes and 59 seconds, so basically 12 minutes. And I'm going to click send, and I'll go over and press the button to start the processing, and we will get this engraved. Everything I'll do from here will be back on the camera. Okay, I did take the time to write down all of the settings, so this will help you hopefully make a decision about which setting is right for you. On the back right here, the important thing to remember is that the slower the speed is for your engraving, the darker the image will be. And the faster the speed is set to, the lighter your image will be. So let's look at these. My name right here at the top, it was set to a power of 30 with a speed of 50, so that's pretty slow, and a line density of 100. Right here in the middle, right here, the power was on 11, the speed was on 50, and the line density was at 100. And then right here at the bottom, you can see how this one is lighter. These really are the same. Right here, the power was on 18, the speed was on 150, and the line density was at 100. My name right here has the same settings as right here on the front. Right here, the settings were a power of 18, speed of 50, and a line density of 100. So here's my little cheat sheet, if you will, because with doing the laser engraving is best if you have one item that you're just going to use as your test, and that's what I've done. So this will help you in some way. So with this one, the power was 18, speed 50, and the line density was at 100. I think it looks gorgeous. I did have to wipe it down after I took it out of the laser engraver, out of the WeCreat, and hopefully you do find this helpful. If you do, please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications, because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.